This piece is a raw confession of a woman standing at 37, carrying both strength and fragility. Society tells her she should have been married, should have had children, should have conformed to a life written by others, but here she stands, questioning, how happy can this life be? Her words are a mixture of longing and rebellion. She remembers love like a melody, tender yet unfinished, something that lingers like a breath hidden in her chest. She admits her fears, her silence, the time she wanted to say I love you but swallow the words because courage abandoned her. This is not weakness. It is the painful honesty of someone who has lived deeply and lost, yet still dreams. She speaks of relationships others don't understand, of connections invisible to the outside world but etched into her own heart. Memories drift like scattered stars, always returning to haunt her, but even in the ruins she clings to hope, the hope of love's dawn, the belief that beauty still lies ahead. This isn't just about being single at 37, it's about every soul who has felt out of step with society, who has loved and lost, who still chooses to believe in tomorrow despite the weight of yesterday. It is a declaration that happiness is not measured by marriage or children, but by the courage to keep hoping, to keep believing in love, even when the world doubts you.
This is the voice of someone standing at a fragile crossroads, 33 years old, unmarried, childless, and still searching for love. Her words reveal a raw truth that many in today's world feel but rarely say out loud. At a certain age, you're not too young, not too old, but caught in between, stuck in a limbo that feels unbearable. She admits to the exhaustion of anxiety, to lying flat because the emotional burden became too heavy. And yet, beneath her exhaustion, there is still yearning. After the Dragon Boat Festival, as the year edges closer to its end, she begins again. Because despite the fear, despite the pain, she still wants marriage, still wants love. Her reflection is piercing. In today's society, love isn't always about connection. It's about value, conditions, and calculation. People want partners who are young, or stable, or equal in status. But where does that leave someone like her? Someone with a heart still open, but trapped in the cruel mathematics of modern love? This monologue isn't just about one woman at 33, it is about a whole generation struggling between tradition and reality. Torn between the desire for love and the harsh truth that society often treats love as a transaction. And yet, in her honesty, there is strength. Even in fear, even in self-doubt, she is searching, reflecting, asking the questions others are too afraid to voice. That vulnerability, that courage to speak of the pain, is itself a form of beauty.
This is not just the voice of a 44-year-old woman, it is the voice of defiance, of freedom, of courage in the face of judgment. She stands tall against society's whispers, the questions that pierce like knives. Why aren't you married? Why no children? What's wrong with you? In her answer, there is fire, there is nothing wrong. The only sickness is the narrow thinking that still chains women to the belief that their worth is measured by a husband, by a child, by a lineage. Her story is one of resilience. Failed relationships did not break her, they sharpened her resolve. She turned her energy toward building her own empire, a clothing business at 25, her first home, her first car, then a wine business, now stability. 2 houses. A car. A life she enjoys on her own terms. And yet, she is not bitter. She has not closed her heart. She still believes in love, but not in compromise. Not in lowering her life just to fit the mold. Love must be real, or not at all. Her words cut through generations of pressure. Happiness is not a single formula. One person's path cannot be another's prison. She reminds us that if you never lived as yourself when you were young, no marriage, no children, no tradition will guarantee you happiness when you are old. Her declaration is both a challenge and an invitation. Life has millions of paths. Why not walk the one that makes your soul breathe? Why not live for your own definition of joy? This is more than her story. It is a manifesto for every woman, every man, every soul who dares to live differently.